Hello, dear subscribers and guests of the Myths and Legends channel. It often seems that evil spirits and demons are depicted as much scarier than they actually are. In the rich heritage of Russian folk tales, we find many negative characters, and today we will focus on one of them. The protagonist of our story symbolizes an entity that has a beginning but no end. At the heart of our tale is a mighty wizard. On the endless expanses of the sea and ocean, on the mysterious island of Bayan, stands a majestic green oak tree. On this oak rests an iron chest, inside which dwells a hare. But this is no ordinary hare. Within it lives a duck. Inside the duck hides an egg, and within this egg is a needle, at the tip of which lies Kashchei's death. The death of this character is so carefully hidden that he is often called immortal. Interestingly, Kashchei's death exists as a separate object, independent of him. Why this is so, you will learn later. Kashchei the Deathless is an iconic figure of Slavic mythology, whose popular folkloric image significantly differs from his original portrayal. As children listening to fascinating tales about beautiful Vasilisas and brave Ivans, we invariably encountered the ominous and fearsome image of Kashchei. This immortal villain constantly plotted dark deeds, abducted beauties, and caused trouble for good young men. When the name Kashchei is mentioned, certain distinctive features immediately come to mind, firmly embedded in his fairy tale image. He is old, bony, bald, ugly, and of course, immortal. However, let us delve into the fairy tale narratives and try to understand who this most famous childhood villain truly is. Firstly, it is worth noting that Kashchei is not merely a character in folk tales but a significant figure in Slavic mythology and the pagan pantheon. There are several theories regarding the origin of his name. According to one, the name Kashchei comes from the verb kostit, meaning to harm, to damage. Another theory links his name to the word bone, emphasizing his thin skeletal appearance and implying a lean man, a walking skeleton, or a miser. In Slavic legends, Kashchei often appears as a powerful sorcerer or evil spirit with magical abilities, protecting his immortality through dark rituals or treasures hidden in hard-to-reach places. His immortality is associated with the fact that his soul or essence is hidden in a particular object, making him invulnerable to conventional mortal means of destruction. In tales, Kashchei often becomes the main obstacle for heroes, demanding they complete difficult tasks or release captured beauties only after overcoming numerous trials. By examining Kashchei's image in more detail, we can see how this character reflects the ancient beliefs and fears of the Slavic people. His image symbolizes undying darkness and the obstacles that must be overcome to achieve goodness and justice. Kashchei is most often depicted as a tall and gaunt elder with long white hair, dressed in magical armor and wielding a long sword. His family ties are a unique and intriguing aspect of the myth. According to legends, Kashchei's father is Chernobog, a deity symbolizing darkness and destruction. Kashchei also has brothers Aspid and Goran, who serve as prototypes for characters found in modern films and cartoons. His wife is said to be Mara, the goddess of winter and death, highlighting his deep connection to the cycles of nature and the afterlife. Undoubtedly, among the dark deities of Slavic mythology, Kashchei holds one of the most powerful positions, surpassed in strength only by Chernobog. In numerous folk tales, his presence is often accompanied by the withering of grass and the death of livestock under his watchful gaze. Kashchei has power over the forces of darkness and has mastered their use, allowing him to control the souls and bodies of the deceased. The image of Kashchei also reflects ancient Slavic beliefs and fears associated with the unknown forces of nature and the afterlife. His mythological figure symbolizes the eternal struggle between good and evil, light and darkness, life and death. His image continues to influence modern culture, inspiring the creation of new works of art, films, and literature that explore the depths of Slavic mythology and continue to convey his mysterious and fearsome essence to new generations. There is a clear resemblance between the Slavic Kashchei and the Greek Hades. However, Kashchei's role in Slavic mythology is significantly deeper and more multifaceted. Unlike Hades, who merely governs the underworld, Kashchei has the ability to summon entire armies of the undead at any time. Nearly all creatures obey this powerful necromancer unconditionally, possessing unique abilities found only in Slavic myths. Kashchei rules the darkest and most mysterious of realms, Kashchei's kingdom, where eternal darkness and lifelessness reign. Water plays a key role in enhancing his supernatural powers, granting him even greater strength and control over his forces. In one folk tale, it is said that after Ivan Tsarevich brought Kashchei 3 buckets of magical water, Kashchei was able to effortlessly break 12 heavy chains and free himself from his dungeon. This episode highlights his incredible strength and ability to overcome any obstacles. Typically, Kashchei's actions and tales revolve around young women. He employs a repetitive and ineffective tactic to win their love. First, he dramatically abducts the beauty, then unsuccessfully tries to establish a close relationship with her. When his attempts fail, Kashchei resorts to magic, turning the captured girls into frogs or snakes. We will further examine how Kashchei interacts with other mythological creatures, what rituals and spells he uses to maintain his power, and how his image has evolved in various folk legends and modern interpretations. According to ancient legends, unlike most supreme rulers of Navi, Kashchei did not indulge in transformations and almost always retained his original appearance. However, when necessary, this powerful dark sorcerer could transform into a black raven, allowing him to move undetected and observe events. Another unique feature of Kashchei is his horse, a hybrid that is half alive and half dead. This enigmatic creature was the result of one of Kashchei's many magical experiments aimed at strengthening his power and control over the dark arts. Kashchei became renowned as a skilled warrior, expertly wielding a hand and a half-sword. His swordsmanship was so exceptional that few could rival him in battle. Complementing his combat mastery was special armor that made him nearly invulnerable. These enchanted armors were blessed by the goddess Mara, giving them additional magical properties and protecting Kashchei from any attacks. In numerous ancient tales that have survived to this day, it is mentioned that Kashchei was never entirely destroyed. Although he was defeated or vanquished in battles, death could never completely end this powerful being. Why is Kashchei's death contained in an egg? According to ancient legends, the egg is hidden inside a duck, the duck is inside a hare, and the hare is placed in an iron chest hanging on a mighty oak. This oak, in turn, is located on a remote island surrounded by a vast sea or ocean. Kashchei's entire life force is concentrated in this egg. For the ancient Slavs, the egg symbolized the origin of all existence, embodying the universe and being the source of the great rod, from which all creation emerged. If Kashchei's power is contained within the egg, it can be interpreted as a personification of the dark side of human nature, primal, immortal, and invincible, which our ancestors sought to capture in myths and legends. Thus, Kashchei becomes not just a villain but a symbol of inevitable and indestructible evil that cannot be eradicated by ordinary means. Why is Kashchei immortal and impossible to defeat? The answer lies in the profound symbolism of his death and its connection to the cosmic model of the universe. The location of Kashchei's death is linked to fundamental elements of creation. Water, earth, plants, animals, and birds serve as guardians of various aspects of the universe. These natural forces form an inviolable balance, sustaining the existence of the world. Since Kashchei's death is kept in an egg, which is the essence of creation, destroying him would mean dismantling the very foundation of being, which is beyond mortal capabilities. Thus, the egg becomes not only a container for Kashchei's death but also a symbol of the eternity and resilience of creation. It embodies the idea that evil, embodied in Kashchei, cannot be completely eradicated, as his essence is inextricably linked to the very structure of the world. This concept reflects ancient Slavic beliefs, where the balance between good and evil, life and death, is an inherent part of the nature of things. In the end, Kashchei's image and his immortality within the egg represent a deep metaphor, illustrating the eternal struggle between opposing forces and the constancy of cosmic order. Understanding this symbolism helps us better appreciate the complexity and multifaceted nature of Slavic mythology, as well as its influence on the culture and worldview of the people. Of course, this is just one interpretation, leaving many questions unanswered. Only in later versions of the legends and folk tales can we find stories where Kashchei's death occurs multiple times. This situation is connected to the fact that by the time these stories emerged, our ancestors had already lost a deep understanding of Kashchei's complex and multifaceted mythological image. His devious schemes and intrigues were not merely obstacles for the main characters of the tales. It is important to remember that the ancient Slavs did not hold the concept of absolute, unconditioned evil. Evil was perceived as an inherent part of the universe, existing alongside good, thus creating the necessary balance. This balance between good and evil was fundamental to the ancient Slavic worldview. Therefore, villainous characters in Russian folk tales are not pure embodiments of evil. Rather, they represent heroes who follow a different side of benevolent intentions. Their actions and motives are complex and multifaceted, reflecting the dualism of nature and the necessity of balance between opposing forces. Thus, Kashchei's misdeeds are not merely obstacles on the hero's path but are part of a broader cosmic harmony. They symbolize the inevitability of clashes between opposing forces and the necessity of overcoming dark aspects to achieve harmony and justice. This understanding deepens our perception of Slavic mythology, revealing its richness and complexity. That's all for today. If you have thoughts or questions on this topic, feel free to share them in the comments below this video. We are always happy to discuss various aspects of Slavic mythology with you and uncover even more mysteries and legends. Until next time on the Myths and Legends channel, take care.